Hey, what's good, everyone? Thanks so much for joining us on the JRose Experience. I am your host, JRose. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today's show is full of some big poetic energy. Two of the most filterless poets I've ever met. They unapologetically tell it like it is, and that's what I love about the both of them. So joining us today, we have Massiel Felix and Hattress Barbour III. We're gonna get together and chop it up about their creative projects for 2020 and talk about all the beautiful ways to love a poet. And just in case y'all don't know, poets need special type of love. And today, we're gonna let you guys know how it is. So then later on, we're gonna play our random improv game off the top. You'll have a chance to play with us too. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back with our first guest. You're watching the JRose Experience, where creatives come to keep growing. Guest, Massiel Felix. She is a spoken word poet and author from Washington Heights.
Man, she said it that way though.
She's made waves in the poetry slam scene for years now, and she's launching her new showcase series for artists and performers. Coming soon, right?
Coming soon in the spring.
In the spring of 2020. And she's here to talk about it. So please give a warm welcome to my girl, Massiel.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming through. I'm super excited to have you. I've known you for a long time.
Yes.
And I was actually having this conversation with her off camera. Massiel, for me, is what I consider a day one. When I first started curating events and hosting events, she was one of the first creative people that was down to perform and work with me and fucks with me, and
all the way out in Queens.
All the way in Queens. And she's even though she's born and raised in Washington Heights, she's all the way in Staten Island now, which is super far. If you're from New York and from the 5 boroughs, Staten Island is like super far for us. So thank you for coming to Queens for me. I appreciate it. So I want to talk about the whole slam poetry thing, right?
Yeah.
Because it was never my thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like performing spoken word, but like putting it into like a competitive aspect was never something that I was willing to or brave enough to do. Mm-hmm. So what made you start doing slam poetry?
It happened by mistake. I took a writer's workshop one summer when I was in high school because my boyfriend at the time,
always the boyfriend.
I could only see him when I was in school, so I'm like, how am I going to see this dude during the summer? So I took summer school. I didn't need it. I was a complete nerd. So I took what you do for love. So I took a writer's workshop and I wrote my very first poem, and the instructor really liked it and encouraged me to keep writing. Fast forward into college, I took my I was an RA, and I took a group of kids over to the New Yorican.
Oh, nice.
And while I was in the bathroom, they signed me up for the open mic.
Stop.
And I didn't know. So I went up there, and I actually came in second place that night, and they invited me back for a private slam.
Oh, my God.
And that's how I got started, yeah. I was doing it for a while. In '98, I actually went with the New Yorican team down to Fort Lauderdale to the Love Jones Poetry Fest, and we won.
Oh my gosh!
It's always been a passion.
That's so dope.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
My very first event that I ever hosted and curated was a poetry slam. I didn't want to compete, and Massiel was one of the winners of the slam, so she's fired.
Thank you.
Now, did you face any challenges being a woman in like that type of space?
I don't know. I don't feel like it's one of those, like, slam poetry is one of those arenas where it's a gender thing. I think it's all a style thing.
Okay.
I think it's really easy to become stylized when you start watching people. You kind of start emulating or whatever. So just staying in your own space, in your own lane, and just being authentic to you and having your own little niche is what's most important. I don't think it's never been a gender thing for me.
What do you think is something about your poetry that like makes you kind of like different?
I am painfully honest.
You are.
Very open-hearted. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I hope that it comes out in everything, in everything that I write. I've written poems that are very angry.
Yeah.
I've written others that are very loving, and then, some that just deal with societal issues. But in every piece, there's definitely, I leave a piece of me behind in it. So.
Yes. You are a spicy one, I'll tell you that.
Dominican, what you expect?
Have you ever lost a slam, and like how did you take that L?
Yeah, actually, one of the first slams that I was in, I lost, and I didn't feel any kind of way because he was really dope. Yeah. I was actually just turned on. I was like, I was like, then did he just do that?
Yeah, Paul will do that to you.
And it's never a matter of a loss. It's always a matter of preference. Unless I know that I did something that I oopsed.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh my God. But if it's, sometimes like you could be up with a heavy hitter and you're a heavy hitter, and it just depends on what the judges like more.
Yeah.
And what, that they prefer the other person's delivery. So I don't ever take that I don't ever take it personally.
Yeah. Do you ever like go back home and be like, oh, I gotta like step my game up?
Yeah, there was one where I was the Real hosted.
Yes.
He hosted one at the Murican actually, and it was so emotional for me that I forgot my words.
Oh.
And I started crying, and I was like, give me a second. And I went home, I was like, I feel like, and I came in second that day. I was like, it must have been because of that. Because
you cried, they felt bad for you.
No, it was just
cry,
like,
baby. Give a cry baby a prize.
It was like, I gotta like, reel it in and just like harness that and then, give it out the right way.
So how do you mentally prepare yourself to go? Because I imagine like you in a boxing ring and like I'm gonna slam that. I'm gonna like getting ready.
What I do is once I have the piece memorized, because I record it on a voice note and I listen to it repeatedly. So once I have it memorized, I make it my point to do everyday life things while I'm reciting it, so that nothing distracts me. So I can't, like, I'll be washing the dishes and reciting, I'll take a shower, I'm like cooking, doing whatever. Because if I could do it while I'm distracted by what I'm doing, then I should be able to perform flawlessly.
Ooh, that's how that happens. Yeah, that's some good insight. You see, those of you that are struggling to memorize your work, it's good to practice. I do that too. I actually practice when I'm driving because I have to pay attention to the road. So if I could spit a piece while I'm driving and not hit anybody with the car, then I'm good.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about this artistic showcase that you want to launch.
So what I want to do, what the plan is to have a pop-up kind of series in the 5 boroughs. I think that Staten Island is definitely underrepresented when it comes to the poetry scene. Yes. Everybody normally goes to like Manhattan and Brooklyn. Yes. There's not really that much. There is some stuff going up in the Bronx and Queens and stuff, but I feel like the love should be everywhere. And it wouldn't be specific to poets. It'd be also MCs coming up, lyricists, singers, what have you. Maybe throwing in some live art while we're at it. I know artists that are like, like bondage artists. There's like so many different things when it comes to art. It's such a wide scope. Yeah. That why not?
You want to give a little bit of everything.
I want to give everybody a little time to shine in every borough.
In every
just
borough.
Follow me. Just hopscotch with me across
so you're going to come to Queens?
Yeah. Although there's a 35th Street, 35th Avenue, 35th Boulevard, 35th Place. Like, it's like, who made this place? Who made this place?
Everybody gets lost in Queens. Even I get lost in Queens sometimes, and I've been living in Queens my whole life.
Yeah, no, I can't do it.
I can't wait for that to come out because
I'm excited about it.
You are a very creative person, very out there. So I'm looking forward to seeing who you can bring on to showcase on that platform. You are working on a book?
Yes.
You have a title yet?
I do. I'm not telling.
Don't worry, I'm gonna find out. I won't tell.
She gonna spill the beans.
I promise I won't tell, but I want to know. I like to have the inside scoop. So when people be like, "Oh, did you read?" I'll be like, "I already know about that."
I already know.
I've been knowing about that. Did you see?
It's like knowing the name of somebody's baby before the baby's born. You don't do that.
You're right.
You don't do that to people.
I definitely didn't give my child's name. When people would ask me, I would say my baby.
It's my baby.
Yeah, they're like, "What are you gonna name him?"
I don't know, my baby.
That's it.
Exactly.
You can't call him that though. So, what do you do? How do you go about picking who you want to bring on, like the talent?
Because of the platform that I'm on, I have a great deal of people that we mutually follow each other that are extremely talented. Like I've seen them, perform in other showcases or what have you.
So it's not like a struggle for you to.
No, it's not a struggle. Yeah. Besides social media, though, it's going out and actually going to performances, going to open mics, and like telling people like, yo, like I'm thinking of doing this and that and the third. Like, do you want to be on stage? Do you want to do this? I think that you're really awesome. And I've met a couple of people that way already. So I have my arsenal.
Yeah,
I have my arsenal ready.
Your network.
No, it's ready. It's deep.
So what do you do? Like, let's say somebody hits you up and they're like, yo, Massiel, I want to feature on your showcase, but you don't really think that they're that talented. How do you like turn them down?
Please send me a clip of your work and I will have the production team.
Yes!
I'll have the production team vet it and they'll get back to you. I would never put the onus of that on me because it's weird for me. Like I don't feel like, who am I
to
judge anyone for, I don't know where you are in your, in your
like
your career, in your artistry. I don't know where you are in developing your craft. And I'm not one to judge anyone, but it's kind of like I want a certain I want caliber. I want people that can emit some sort of emotion and get people going in some sort of way.
For sure.
And if you're not that person, then I could put it on production and then give you feedback.
Yeah.
See?
That's always hard.
It's easy.
That's always hard. I'm always like, when people ask, they're like, oh, can I come on that JRose Experience? I'm like, send an email to JRoseExperience@gmail.com. And we'll have the production team review.
See, now you're going to use my line. There you go. The production team.
I love it. So I have a fun question for you now. Now we can do it.
Now we're going to have fun.
I'm like dropping my stuff. I'm a hot mess right now. Oh
boy. She's smiling too hard.
If you could make a playlist about your love life, what would the title of your playlist be and what would the first track be?
You're really kidding me right now. That would be the name of it. You're really kidding me right now. Wow.
What's the first track on that? You're really kidding me right now.
What's the first track? Oh God. I'm really gonna mess this up right now because I don't have a song for you. Wait. So if I was like really excited about
it's
whatever
about
right
your
now,
love life,
I gotta think about when I was in love, right?
Okay. Let's go back to that time.
The best part by her.
Oh, the best part.
That would be
first
in
track.
The beginning. That's the first track.
There we go, and then we go into the breakup songs at the end.
Then every single song on My Life in Mary J. Blige is at the end of it. That's it.
The whole My Life
album. It always starts out good, so it'd be the best part, and then Mary J. Blige all the way through. That's it.
I love it.
I
love it.
Fucked up in the game.
So you ready to like spit a little bit of that magic?
Sure.
Yes. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with a performance from Massiel.
My name is Massiel. I am 42 years old, and I learned to hate myself when I was 5. While sitting on my mother's lap as she attempted to comb the nap out of my black, her grievances with the task mumbled in between prompts to stay still and keep my head down. I recoiled in pain, but also from shame for not having a silky black mane. I was young then, but after years of participating in the ritual, I swore that I would never have a daughter that would have to endure the same. Well, I have since embraced the black that I cowered from then, and the universe has blessed me with 2 sons instead. But should I ever carry the burden of raising a daughter, I will first and foremost apologize for the countless insecurities that I will undoubtedly brand her with as she navigates the exit from my womb. I will tell her that they were passed on and combed into me by her grandmother, nurtured by society's unrealistic ideals of beauty, and very well fed by the countless broken men from which I futilely sought validation. I will ask that she do as I teach and not as I've shown, and pray that she is armed with more self-love than I have ever known, because my shortcomings should never be hers to own. I will try to counter the side effects of her inheritance with the gifts of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. I will stand that girl in front of a mirror, lift her chin, square her shoulders, point out her mother's eyes, inquisitive and full of wonder, her father's lips unpursed and always seeking answers, those lanky arms, well made for embracing the black and brown babies that her grandmother's hips will bear one day. I will teach her that the melanin that toasts her skin is a gift she should wear proudly, and her untamable hair wasn't meant for relaxing. It is a crown that she should wear with dignity, as homage to the kings and queens before her who were stripped of their humanity for sake of their oppressors' prosperity. She will know that her external beauty, as great as it may be, will only ever be as relevant as the aesthetic of her mind, and I will thus challenge her to seek the stories that she was never meant to find in those books written by the minority who sought to keep her kin confined to the overpopulated and underserved slums whose major exports are the fathers, brothers, and sons whose fingers drum relentlessly on the concrete walls of prison cells. She will learn the definition of conformity and ban it from her vocabulary to make room for enlightenment. And that will be one of her favorite words, besides no, that is, because she's going to learn early on that saying no is often a necessity, especially when it comes to defying the norms that she's expected to fit into by society. It can mean the difference between being a fighter and a bystander, a statistic or a revolutionary, being mediocre or extraordinary, which is exactly what my baby girl was meant to be. Because she came from me. And despite her congenital defects, she represents the very best in me, that hope in me, the faith in me, that she will rise above her inherited burden, and this cycle of self-loathing will die with me.
Whether it's tax season, the holidays, or whatever falls in between, you want to make sure that you're being smart with your money. So go visit my girl, Queen Candace, at the Queen Blueprint to learn how to gain your financial freedom. You could get a personalized debt payoff plan, a full financial overview, and learn to repair your relationship with money. Smarter money moves are waiting for you at www.thequeenblueprint.com or call 877-387-BLUE. Use code JRose20 for 20% off of all our financial services. Welcome back to the JRose Experience. I'm your host, JRose. Thanks for staying tuned in. I'm here with my next guest, Hattress Barbour III. He's a spoken word poet, lyricist from Harlem, New York. He's working on a project, a spoken word album, and he's got a monthly showcase out. So he's here to talk about it. You ready?
First of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm so happy you were able to come through.
You're the best.
No, you're the best. Hattress, for me, is one of my favorite poets, spoken word poets in New York. You're going to hear me say that a lot because everyone's my favorite, but not everyone's my favorite.
That's a
Feel
lot.
me? No, you're really dope. So tell me about this EP that you're working on.
Okay.
Right? It's called Love and Language.
Yes. I'm working on an EP called Love and Language. It's supposed to be out in June.
Okay.
The reason why I'm focusing on love and language is because I think a lot of my work is more social and political. And people haven't really seen me tap into that love.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give them something different.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something different for the people.
Something different, right? I'm usually angry and screaming at people on stage. So it's like, I wanted to give them something different.
But I know that you also are heavy into like your activism in your community.
Okay.
And that's what's tied into your poetry. So what are you doing to work on how are you getting the inspiration to write something outside of what you normally write about?
Well, inspiration is my life, right? Like I think that as artists, we all draw from our life experiences. And we're all multifaceted people. So I love and I hate and I talk about it. So like that's all it is. I think the activism comes from my career in social service. I've been in case management for a while, recruitment for a while. So it's like I got to touch people in different ways.
Yeah.
Even education, I got to touch people in different ways, and I saw what they were dealing with, and it kind of transcends into the poetry. So it just makes sense to do it that way.
Now your activism in the community is actually really specific as far as like who you're advocating for. Can you tell me a little bit more about who you really are trying to be a voice for?
I mean, my people, right? I think recently in the last 6 months, a year, I've been in the mental health side of it. So I got to see a lot of the things that happen in clinics and hospitals, especially with my people being African American from Harlem, New York. I see a lot of people get branded in weird ways, when they just didn't have the resources that other people had in order to be okay, right? And it's like I talk about it a lot because it's like it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah. Now, do you feel that your writing empowers your activism, or your activism empowers your writing?
I think it's a little bit of both, right? Because it's like I said, we're multifaceted. So it's like my writing is who I am as a person. I'm Pisces. I'm super emotional. So it's like if I feel some sort of way, I'm gonna write about that.
Feelings.
Yeah, I got a lot of feelings. But because of the career choice that I chose and the spaces that I'm in, I'm able to have a different perspective than other people who are not in those spaces. So I'm able to draw from both. Yeah. Right.
Dope.
Thank you.
What about the showcases? I feel like I got the memo late.
Last minute?
Like I thought we was cool.
Last minute.
You know, I didn't get invited to no showcase.
See, what she's not telling y'all is she didn't come to the last one, but that's besides the point. You know. So I got a monthly showcase in Harlem. It's called The Poetry because I feel like that's the hub of the culture.
The poetry.
The poetry. Yes.
Like,
thank you for the distinction.
Yes.
The poetry. Because like, you know, like in roots of like the Renaissance and Langston Hughes and everybody that did their thing, I wanted to start a community in Harlem, in the heart of Harlem where I'm from. And it's lit. Like, and we got a DJ, we got so many open micers that come out.
You have a specific venue that you...
So our venue is on 142nd between 8th and Edgecombe. It's called the Hexagon Lounge.
Nice.
Please pull up if you have a chance. Tickets are only $7. Good. Talk crazy to me real quick. Scream at me, please, because I'm tired of screaming at people. But yeah.
So you born and raised in Harlem?
Yeah. Well, yeah, no.
Okay.
So I was born and raised in Harlem specifically until I was like 15, and I moved to Atlanta, and I grew up there about till I was like 25, and I came back to New York. I'm older now though, so.
Oh, excuse me, old man.
Old.
So, tell me a little bit about the differences. How different was it, like going to Atlanta and trying to be a poet in Atlanta? Were you trying to do that down there?
So I wasn't doing poetry in Atlanta, right? I started poetry maybe about 2 years ago. So I was...
You perform like you've been doing this for like 20 years.
Thank you, Queen. I appreciate that. But nah, I started like performing poetry like 2 years ago. I've been writing since I was like 15.
Okay.
But like performance, like you gotta learn. That's a different beast. Yeah. That you gotta conquer and learn.
But how did going to Atlanta affect like you as a creative?
It changed my perspective.
Yeah.
I think I grew up in the hood in Harlem, so I was so used to like
hood shit.
Yeah. I was used to hood shit. So it's like moving to Atlanta and seeing middle class black people, seeing people who are doctors in my neighborhood, growing up in a house. I got to mow the lawn in the backyard. Like it was a whole different experience for me. So it's like I saw what was achievable. Yeah. And I was like, okay, we could do this. But it's like coming back, and I still got the same friend circle. I still got, right? Like I'm still in the same community a little bit, right? So it's like it kind of changed my perspective of like how I see what's my next step. Like how do I do that? You know what I mean?
Was it like a little discerning, like coming back to New York and being like, oh, same shit here?
It was, but then it was also like it was hopeful, right? Because it's like, okay, I have a different experience, I have a different understanding, so it's like, let me get a group of like minds together and like make this pop. Yeah. Like, let's do this. Like, so, like, even with the poetry open mic, like, I have my day ones with me that's helping me with it, right? Like, and they hate poetry. Like, I shot all my poems with them. They hate it. But it's like, if I can keep your attention, then I know that I'm doing something good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, they don't want to hear, they want to hear Meek Mills. Like, they don't want to hear me. Like,
how'd you get the buy-in from these poetry haters to help you?
Just because, like, they see what I'm doing. Like, they see the movement, and I'm relentless. Like, I'm not going to stop. Yeah. So it's like, once, like, they love me, so it's like, it is what it is. You know what
I mean, I see you grinding out there. He writes poetry for you, so if you want to, if you don't really know, if you want to say, like, I love you or something nice to your significant other, he writes for you.
$10 poems.
$10 poems.
Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, whatever you got.
There you go.
EBT, whatever you got. I got you.
Make your boo smile.
Really?
So I got a fun question for you.
Oh, I love fun questions.
So if you were able to sit down and interview any historical icon, who would it be, and what's the first question you would ask them?
Maya Angelou. And it would be, why were you so good? No, like honestly, like Maya is the reason why I started writing.
Really?
And I literally picked up one of her like first poetry books. It was a compilation of poetry, and like just her way of just reaching the masses in a way that's not racial.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like she tapped into an emotional level that transcends race and socioeconomic standing. And it's like, yo, I want to write like that. So Maya, we miss you.
Aww.
All right?
Yes.
What's up, bro?
That's dope. That's really dope. That's a good one. I thought you were gonna say Langston Hughes.
Nah,
Like,
Langston is cool though.
He
like,
cool. He cool.
Maya,
But Maya's my girl.
Maya. Women, it's just women do it for me. Like women, I was raised by strong black women, so it's like women have a different understanding with me. Like,
All right,
I get
respect
it.
that.
I get
See, we rock. So, you think you'll give us a little bit of poetry?
oh yeah, most definitely.
Yes.
I got something lined up for y'all. I got y'all.
I'm excited. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Hattress Barbour III and some poetry.
I was told that I was a wild man. You see, my hair, it didn't wave like the rest of my peers. I mean, it rippled a little bit, but it wasn't like waves on swim, so they hate on him. Nah. More like it coiled in rebellion, split at the ends, laid in a way as if to say beware of crossing, and no one ever read the signs. Cause see, when I was in 5th grade, they told me that the Brillo on my head is the reason why I'm so hard-headed. As if God himself did not drape me in wool, did not label me a king, did not emblem me a lamb. See, can't y'all see me here? Sacrificing myself knowing that this death will never be a trending topic. Even knowing that no one understands the reason why I was supposed to be here. Because when I was in high school, a girl I like told me she doesn't date nappy-headed niggas. As if her father wasn't a nappy-headed nigga, or her father's father wasn't called a nappy-headed nigga by the same people who stripped her of her own defiance. Now look at her. Docile and compliance. Hating my blackness the way she is supposed to. Because don't I remind her of everything she wished she wasn't? Don't I just explode pupils at every glance? See, ain't I so hard to look at and even tougher to touch? My reply was, alright. But see, there I go, resurrecting this spirit after being crucified by my peers. See, don't she know that I be water, I be life, even when I be quicksand and sinking in a pool of insecurities? Can't she see just how tough you have to be to keep going and going and going when everything, including your comb, breaks on you? I wonder if my hair is the part of my blackness I get to alter, or while my people glorify waves, as if our ancestors' lifeless cages didn't crash into bodies of water, as if the ocean is not comprised of our tears and her mother choosing a perm or straight comb her natural hair is a cure and not a symptom. I wonder, is that what it takes to be human? Is that what it takes to be black? To be tamed, is that what it takes to be accepted? You see, to be accepted is to be recognized by life. But why is it that to be black is to be conditioned? To be told that you are much too wild because even the follicles of your hair break chains. See, freedom, it does not lay down neatly. Freedom does not come lamented to shame. See, freedom is coarse to show them that they can't colonize this land without a fight. See, when I was 28, I'm showing my age a little bit, I'm 30 now, but when I was 28, a coworker suggested I should cut my hair because it wasn't exactly appropriate for the workspace. I told her, I'm only attempting to be myself. She told me companies don't pay you to be yourself. Master don't have you here to be human. Who told you it was okay to believe you were somebody? Who told you that you could be black without consequence? Like, didn't you learn from Trayvon about how the hood loves you only after you die in it? How tombstones lie more than people do. How I had to use his name just to get a couple snaps from the audience in this poem. See, it's not what you want. To die in all your blackness, all 3/5 of your entirety, as if it ever mattered anyway. Just like black lives don't matter anyway. Just like black dust don't matter anyway. See, I told her I'm sorry. Because obviously, this hair is a sight that sore eyes have yet to heal from. And no, I'm not sorry for my aesthetics, because truth be told, I look damn good. I told her, I'm sorry that she was too blind to recognize gold when she sees it. So no, this poem is not a eulogy for my blackness. This poem is an inauguration to my wholeness, and I'll be damned if I ever part ways with myself for anybody.
Check out my people at Regal Star Apparel for some dope hoodies, t-shirts, sweatsuits, and more. I really love their style. Their designs have this creative yet classic artsy vibe to it. Their clothes is comfortable, affordable, and it's just all around dope. And all our viewers and listeners can get 10% off when they use code JRose10 at checkout. Shop Regal Star Apparel at regalstaronline.com. Follow them on IG at Regal Star Apparel. Welcome back to the JRose Experience. I'm your host, JRose. I invited my guests back on set so we could dig a little deeper into the creative world. And today we're going to talk about, y'all ready?
You ready?
How to love a poet.
Oh, God.
It's juicy. I love it.
So these two are very opinionated, unapologetically opinionated, and I love it, and especially when it comes to relationships and love and all that stuff. So I'm very happy to have them here, and I want to hear what they have to say. So, y'all ready to talk about how to love a poet?
Yes, we are.
We are here to teach you guys on how to love people like us, right? Because we deserve a special kind of love. We're different.
That's an
We
interesting
are
question.
different.
We're super different.
We are different.
So, I want to know, first of all, what are some of the biggest misconceptions that people have about poets when it comes to love and relationships?
That we are hopeless romantics.
Oh,
That it's just like, oh my God.
Preach.
That we're going to fall in love in a day. And that we'll just like love you forever and ever. And then we're going to write you sonnets. It's not the way this works.
I agree. I would also say that we're excellent communicators, because one of the things I realized about me is like I'm a better writer than a communicator. Like I write my feelings better than on the spot.
Yes.
Like I need time to digest and figure it out and then come back to you.
Yeah, one doesn't equal another.
Yeah, like it's not the same
makes sense.
thing.
Yes.
It's not the same thing.
people kind of, I get that too sometimes. People be like, well, you write and you do poetry and you're on stage and you got this big voice, so why can't you just be like, and you're just like,
Nah, fam.
Yeah, no.
I'm a person.
I was in my zone when I wrote that. Like,
I definitely get it. So wait, you're not a hopeless romantic?
No.
don't lie.
I think I've been through enough that the hope has been taken out of it. I'm just a romantic. I'm just a romantic. There's no hopelessness in it.
I guess I'm a cliche then.
So, in your opinion, what's the best way to love a poet?
Damn.
I don't see, but that's it's a weird question for me because I don't approach it as the best way to love a poet. I'm just the best way to love another person is realizing that you should be coming for their spirit, and this should be all about your energy.
Yeah.
So especially with me, if you want to make it be Massiel the poet, let your energy speak before anything else. I could care less what you look like, what you got in your bank account, what you got in your pants. None of that is going to mean anything if who you are doesn't speak to me.
That's a fact. I think for me, it's more like she said, like it's not how to love a poet. It's more like how to love me as Hattress, as the person that I am. I don't know. I need freedom. I need you to understand that I have a goal that I'm working on. I need you to understand that I have to be social, that I have to be interactive with people, and to not feel no type of way about it. Because I think, like, I don't know about you, but like for me, like in certain settings, people are very territorial. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, so it's like...
Oh, yeah. I think people are territorial with me because I'm just like, hey.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that could be it.
The social
right?
butterfly, so that people get married.
But like, well, what we do,
you have
to be social,
yeah,
right?
You're gonna have
so
to
it's
have
like it's hard for someone because they want like that direct connection and attention all the time. Yeah. And it's like, hey, like you have the real attention. Like this is fake. Like this is just me coming to a show trying to networking. Like
you're in a different mode.
A lot of people don't understand that. Right? So it's a little different for that. Like
I find that too. I find that like I've been at events where, you know, someone may come to see me perform and they may be interested in me, and I get off stage and I don't talk to them because I'm busy talking
doing other things.
To everybody else that wants my Instagram or wants to tell me how my piece, you know, affected them and how they felt that, you know, and then the person feels like they're not really being paid attention to, and, you know, they don't understand, like, I'm working. Like, that's this is work.
You know what else grinds my gears? What? I always want to say that same. Because I'm a poet, women approach me in, like, this real deep...
And they aren't.
They're not. And it's like, yo, like, first of all, I'm drunk. Second of all,
I'm so done.
I'm not performing right now. Third of all, you talking about a poem I wrote 5 years ago that I'm not even there right now. Like, great, it resonated with you. Yeah. That's cool, but like, this is not the time.
I have one. Because now he talked about pet peeves, so he changed it a little.
Let's go.
I'm sorry.
Because I am a poet, check your grammar.
You
better know the difference. You better know the difference between your.
There. Two.
I want complete sentences, so I don't want to know. I don't want WYD and substituting the word you for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I'm not on that time.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
that's how you show me love by honoring words.
I'll definitely do the short text, but if I'm saying your, like I know the difference between your, two.
I know that was a little petty, but
that's a little petty.
I don't care. It's okay.
You could be petty.
I could be petty. I'm cute.
Yeah.
It just kills me when people come up to me and want to talk about like black suffrage at 12 o'clock at night while I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And it's like Gucci in the background playing. Like, I'm like, yo, listen, like, what we talking about right now? Like, you're brilliant. Like,
definitely.
But then I have to. So it's like, all right, cool.
So when you're in a committed relationship, let's say monogamous, you know, you're just dedicated to that one person. What's the one thing? I know we poets are like monogamous. What?
That's so not true. I'm a total monogamous.
But what is the one thing that your partner has to understand and accept about you? Like non-negotiable. Like you're not changing this about yourself.
I need me time. Like,
and I need reciprocity. Reciprocity is key. That will never. I have evolved in the last 5 years. I've recognized my toxic traits. I work on them on a regular basis. Yeah. Reciprocity is not leaving me. Yeah. I've done my work, so I'm not giving up on that one. Yeah.
I just need me time. Like
you sound like a Gemini.
I'm a Pisces.
This is bad. Oh, happy early birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh, his birthday's tomorrow.
Well, I mean, this is not filming.
But you guys, not the tomorrow when you guys watch.
So when I say me time, I'm super moody and I like go through my little changes and I understand. That's my toxic things.
That's the fluidity.
The fluidity of water signs. Yes, I get it.
You must be an earth sign or something.
I am. Yes. I'm a Capricorn.
You're Capricorn.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, no, earth and water mix.
Yeah,
it's not a water. It's not a problem.
Sense.
We get a little muddy though, but you know, it gets a little muddy.
I like her. We get a little muddy. But yeah, like I'm just moody. So it's like someone has to allow me to go through those phases and hold space for it. And I'm gonna come back around and I'm gonna acknowledge, like, hey, like I was going through that then. Can we make amends now?
Yeah. But as an earth sign, you won't find me there.
Oh, see, cool. She's out. See, I feel like I agree kind of with you in a sense. Like I do need like that. I need that respect that when I'm doing me, I'm doing me. And, you know, and I'm very like tunnel vision. So if I'm hosting an event or I'm hosting a show, like,
that's what you're doing.
Don't be mad that I didn't text you back. Don't be mad that I didn't have time to call you back. Don't be mad that it took me 2 days to answer you because I'm busy.
2 days? Though?
Damn, I can't date neither one of y'all.
2 days?
2 days.
No, hold on. 2 days? Come on.
You will find no Dominicans.
Because I be mad busy.
Bruh, you wild.
She reaching.
But maybe I'm not.
2 days,
Maybe I'm just not that into
hey,
you.
You can't love a poet.
Yeah, that was.
You can't love a poet.
That's
I'm
why.
pulling up to your job
Nah.
in 2 days. Like,
with his moody
what's
ass.
happening?
With his
I'm
moody
talking to
ass.
the boss, like, yo, what up?
Where you at, babe? What's
Keisha.
good?
Keisha.
You waiting outside with a sign. Where's Jay? Anybody see Jay?
I'm giving it up like that. That's what I do.
Put a picture.
That's that
Have
Joe
you
type
seen
love.
her? Have you seen
That's
her?
that Joe type love.
Yes.
I love Joe
He was
from you.
definitely not a Pisces.
Joe.
He was not a Pisces.
Joe's crazy.
I believe he was a Sagittarius, but that's besides
Really?
the point.
Do
Yeah.
you think?
I look shit up like that.
Do you think that it's possible for a poet to love someone more than words?
I don't know what you mean.
course.
'Cause I don't
More
look
than
like
their
that.
own words?
More than words. You know how people are like, I love you more than words. Like words can't express. Like, but we're people of words.
I think if the times that I've loved, it's been beyond words. So it's one of those I can't even put it into words because it's just so much.
Yeah.
There's just so much feeling that I
Can I
can't
ask
just
you a
like
question?
put it on paper. Yeah.
When you've been in love, right? Have your partners ever asked you to like write a love poem? For
Yes,
them?
all the time.
Do you struggle?
Yeah, because
Cool.
it'll come
I
out of me
thought it
when
was
it
just
when
me.
Yeah.
it'll come out of me when it has to come out of me.
Yeah,
I
me
can't
too.
sit,
You
I
can't
can't
just
write
do
out the
that,
mind.
right?
No,
Alright.
and I've
Do
had
people
get
ask
upset.
you? Be like, yo,
I've
can
had
you
people
write
get
a poem?
upset. I've had men get upset and just be like, "What do you mean? Like you don't care enough about me to write about me?" I'm like, "Well, that's
You
not
can't
it.
say that. Yeah,
No.
that's
I can't
yeah,
say that, but it's just like
It
when
doesn't
I'm
work
inspired,
that way.
It doesn't mean
Yeah.
that your love doesn't
Yeah.
inspire me. It just means that I'm not in that space
Yeah.
to write. And you know, some of them get written about afterwards.
Yeah,
They
don't
definitely
write
get
love
written
poems.
afterwards. Don't worry. If I don't write about you during, you getting one afterwards.
You get
for
one.
sure. Okay, so anyone that knows me knows that I'm not a big makeup person. So when I have to get all glammed up, I go to La Creme Faces. I can only go to somebody that I can trust with my face. They specialize in glam makeup and even special effects makeup. So you could be turned into the beauty or even the beast. So make sure you follow them on Instagram and make your appointment today at La Creme Faces. Y'all ready to play a game?
Oh, we
Yes.
playing
Turn this
games.
shit up.
We play games.
Yes,
Awesome.
we're playing
What's
games.
up? What's
Let's get
good?
it.
So it's
Let's get it.
time
What
for
you doing?
our off the top segment. It's our creative improv game where you get to pick a game and we're gonna play and have fun.
Okay.
Can we do
We
that?
game.
All
You
right.
game?
We game literally. Literally.
Let me get my cards.
These like tarot cards.
No.
For real. We're gonna start with
These
names.
are
Start with
JRose exclusive
You see
handmade
the promo
cards.
And laminated.
Okay, I
Hey.
laminated them myself.
tried it. I
I
tried it.
burned my fingers, but it's all good.
Wow.
All right.
You know they have cool touch laminators.
Do they?
Yes,
Damn,
they do.
See?
Yo, she's skilled and
putting me on.
talented.
Let's.
All right.
What's it say?
Speed date round?
Speed
God.
date round. How perfect is that?
What that mean?
done.
I'm done. So all right.
She's too excited.
So I'm super excited because I love speed dating. I've never gone speed dating. I always wanted to do it. So I figured let me just bring it to the show and I could do it here. Y'all
Okay.
ready?
Sure.
So I'm gonna ask.
Wait, hold on. What's the rule?
Get
What's
to it.
the rule?
I'm getting into it.
All right,
Getting into it.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you guys a question. You guys will each answer it. And it's gonna be like speed dating. So you just answer. I'm gonna ask the next question. You guys answer, and then whoever has the best answers will get a date.
Who's judging my answers though?
I am.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because she's one of the
Judge and
potential
jury.
both of us.
I know her well enough. I think I'm gonna win. I'm sorry.
I mean, you have parts I don't have, so you may win.
Hey. Hey. There's nothing we can't attach. There's nothing we can't attach.
Oh! That's a
She
whole
more
other segment.
parts.
That's a whole other
She
segment.
brought parts.
Two more parts.
That's a whole other segment, man.
That's for like JRose Experience.
dark.
After dark.
Yeah.
Wow, y'all look funny.
Okay, are y'all ready for speed dating?
Yes.
I'm ready. I
get
wasn't
it.
ready, but I'm ready.
All
now.
right. So they will vary. Some of them will be deep questions. Some of them will be just random questions that
Okay.
I need to know.
Okay.
Okay. What is your weirdest character trait?
Character trait.
Yeah, what's the
first.
weird
I'll
thing
go
about
first.
you?
My weirdest thing is I like to watch prison YouTube videos. Nobody knows this.
I don't think I could top that.
But like literally, like when I'm procrastinating writing, I will sit there on YouTube and watch prison stories for like 2 hours.
Like lock up?
Like Lock Up. Or what's that other show?
Lock Up Abroad?
60 Days In.
Oh God.
60 Days In.
world?
It's super hilarious.
Oh my god, that I can't top that.
It's
Okay.
super
What's the
hilarious.
weird thing about
I have
you?
a weird talent.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I can pick up stuff with my toes.
What?
You love it. Everybody
And
can do that.
I dated somebody with a foot fetish, and they love that.
They
Oh
love
my
it.
God.
That's all I'm gonna say.
He was here with it. He was paying on his. I love it.
Wow,
yo.
this escalated pretty quickly.
I'm about to drop a quarter on the floor right now. Like,
And I can get it. I can get it.
Okay, what is something you will never do or try again?
cold. No, stop.
Wow.
I was a little serious, but if I'm being super honest, something I will never do again. I have a poem that I'll probably never perform ever again.
Why? Is it too tough?
Yeah.
All right.
It just hits
Yeah.
me a little different.
How about you?
I will. Does that have to be something I have done? Oh.
It's a game.
Or that I would
do.
never ever do
Yeah.
anyway? I would never jump out of a plane.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Right.
Oh, no, not ever.
Hell no.
Not ever.
Hell no, neither I.
Gravity's working against me, if you haven't noticed. So I'm not. I'm not.
All
Out
right.
of parachute.
Real
No.
quick. Beach or pool?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Beach.
I was like, what? All I heard was beach or pool. I'm like, wait.
Pick one.
Me? Nah, pool.
Ah,
I don't
okay,
like
okay.
beaches.
No?
Sand is horrible.
It does get everywhere.
That shit is
It
disgusting.
really does. What board game best describes your life?
Scrabble.
Scrabble?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It's
I
all
would have
fucked
picked this. Yeah.
It's so fucked up. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scrabble.
Scrabble's a good one. I'll go with Scrabble too.
You too?
Yeah.
Ah,
Setting trends over there.
I see you setting
And the
trends.
water signs, you know.
What's the title of your life movie?
The fuck? It doesn't matter. The fuck?
Can I pick a song title?
Sure.
Brent Faiyaz, Clouded.
Ooh, I like him
That's
too.
the story of my life.
Ooh,
Literally. That song. If y'all listen to that, if y'all listen to this, if y'all listen to that song, that's my life.
he's dope too.
You heard it here.
What's your pet peeve about yourself?
Damn, I love me.
I'm so awesome. I'm kidding.
Word, right?
Pet
Like,
peeve
we
about
fu-
me.
We artists, like we love ourselves. Like I don't understand.
All right, well, I'm sure you do something and you be like,
I
damn, I
see.
hate when I do that.
Oh, wait. As it relates to other people, because this is a dating thing, right?
For you.
So pet peeve for you,
Whatever
like your
for you.
pet peeve about you.
I can procrastinate. I can fall into procrastination if I don't catch myself.
Yeah.
Like, it's. But then I work really well under pressure.
Yeah.
So that I pick the speed up again, but I'll be like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna get.
I'll get to it eventually.
I'll get to it.
I love too hard.
He had to be the
There's no
poet.
such thing
he has
as
to
loving
get so
too hard.
poetic.
There is
I
such
love
thing.
too hard.
There's no
There's
such
such
thing. There's such a thing as loving.
Because it's like-
loving wrong.
No.
Loving the wrong.
No, because like if you love too hard, if you love other people too hard, you lack that love for yourself, so that you don't do the things that you need for yourself when you're putting other people before you. I love too hard. I love too hard.
You can't give what you don't have, though.
We can have a different
So
set of
if
opinions.
you can't give what you don't have. So if you don't have any love in you, you can't love hard. So you must love
I
yourself.
have nothing but love in me, but I'm not giving it to me. I'm giving it to everybody else. We could agree to disagree,
Ooh,
though.
you got
It's
deep.
fine.
Ooh.
It's fine.
All right.
I'm gonna stop that.
I have to say that I'm very torn. So can we just go on like a 3-way date?
I don't share. I skipped kindergarten, so I never got the sharing bit.
I'm just here for the food. I'm just here. I just
I
want
went
the
straight to
food.
first grade. I don't know what sharing is.
I'm with whatever. I'm real fluid.
Nah, you guys have great answers. Okay, this will be the tiebreaker. Ketchup in the fridge or out?
Out.
Oh damn, I'm taking you both.
Who puts ketchup in the fridge?
Who does that?
Yo, people do
Ketchup
that.
is supposed to
That
come out
shit is
room
a thing.
temperature.
Trust me,
Yeah,
it's
like
a thing.
it's
Room
gonna make the
temperature.
fries cold.
I've like
it's gonna
thrown
make icing
refrigerators
cold.
across the kitchen because
They have.
Yo, you strong. Throw a refrigerator. Oh, that's booheria. I don't know what's
all
going
right,
on
that
there.
was fun. I need to like really try speed dating in real life though, because this is fun.
I know some spots.
Oh, see, put me on, Hattress.
We can pull
All
up.
right, so I'm gonna ask you guys the one last question. It's a question that I ask every single guest before we wrap up the episode. I have, of course, a belief that creative people are mutants. We have special
We're
powers.
X-Men.
We're like X-Men. We do things that other people can't do. We take things out of our minds and create them into something tangible that others can see and touch, enjoy, whatever it is. So I want to know, what is your superpower?
Storytelling. Definitely.
I would say that too, and like performance. Like performance is a very magical thing, and that's my sorcery. Yeah.
Nice. Yay. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for coming on to the
Of
show.
course, thank
Thank
you
you
for
for having us.
Please tell the audience where they can find you.
On IG at I Have Poetry, literally IHAVE POETRY.
You got it.
Spelling bee jitters.
And my name is Hattress, like matches with the H. You can find me on Instagram at IM_Hattress. Thank you.
And if you're not following us by now, please go on Instagram and find JRose Experience and click that blue follow button. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you click on subscribe. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you keep growing.
You heard?
Peace.